Paul left a few people in the inner circle who were serving well, who were trusting well when everything was going well. But as soon as stuff started turning, that's when you really see what folk are all about. Anybody can serve God on a pretty day. Anybody can serve God on the mountain. You see the real person when the valley is in there. You see the real person. Everybody will love you and you're going to always give them a little something. But then when all you got in your pocket is licks, who's going to still show up in your life? The idea is we got to be clear about who's in our inner circle, the most holy place, the inner circle, and the outer court. So Paul had left Timothy in charge of the church. And it's so interesting. A lot of people turn on him. But it's interesting, they even give the profession of the one who turned the most. So Alexander, his name means taking advantage or giving the edge because of advantage. Now here's your first point right here on your sermon outlines. So we have gone through here and already looked at the EXP, the E, the C, the T. So I want to get to the A today. I want to deal with one A, one T, and possibly one I as well. Or definitely the I, but we may get back to the T later. So here's the point. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. That's from King James. NIV says Alexander the metal worker did me a great deal of harm. When you go back and look in chapter 4, or actually the whole book of 2 Timothy, which is the last book that Paul wrote, and chapter 4, the last chapter he wrote, Alexander is the only one where we find out what they did. They just named the other people, but said Alexander, in this case the coppersmith, or a better translation, the metal worker, did me a lot of harm. Now, what did I tell you about Alexander already? What did I tell you about? Where was he in the context of the inner circle, outer circle, or most holy circle? Alexander was left by Paul to help the ministry of Timothy. And let's be clear, Alexander was doing all the things that were right according to the Lord until. He was trusting God until. He was still supporting Timothy until. He was supporting Paul until. Again, what's his title? What did he do? What does he do? Metal worker. So here's what happened. So he was there in the church, one of the leaders in the church. I mean, all could be depended upon in the church. When Nero came to power, then many of the people who were in the church started going back to pagan gods. The pagan gods they would have were made out of metal. So Alexander said at this point, I can increase my business by getting church folk who used to trust God who are now going back to pagan, and I can start making more money. So Alexander left the Messiah for money. So as a result, he started going against the church, because the more he went against the church, the more money he made. Same one who was praying for folk. Same one who was believing people. Now this same one is turning, and that's what he talked about, that he did him a great deal of harm, because he started saying, Paul is nothing too much to Paul. Not that much to Timothy after all. I was in that church. You know how they do with that church right there. All they want is your money. All the preacher wants your money. And all these other things, because ultimately, they were going to go back and start buying pagan gods, and would increase his profitability. The same one who was in the most holy of holies turned on him. And Paul said at this point, he did me great harm. Another said he did me much evil. Now what happens here? Please read this with me, please. Nothing hurts more than being disappointed by the single person you thought would never hurt you. Timothy and Paul had no idea. If you were to say who would be by your side to the very end, they would have said Alexander. They would have said beyond a shadow. And Alexander was more concerned about greed than he was God. More concerned about money than he was the Messiah, and did a great amount of harm. Now look what happened. So the Lord rewarded him according to his reward. Now look what happens in verse 16. Read this with me, please. This is what Paul says also. All men forsook me. I pray God that it may not be laid to their charge. Everybody that Paul was looking for, and everybody he thought would show up, left him. All of them forsook him, especially Alexander. But look what he says. Look at this is not what Paul is. Paul is in jail about to be executed at any moment, acknowledging that folk left him, but God, please don't hold to their account. How do you do that? How do you do that when people should be there trying to bail you out, trying to be there by your side, and he looks around and nobody's around there, he says, but Luke is with him there, and then please bless this Timothy. Most other folk forsook him, and he's still saying, even though they are not here with me, God, please forgive them. How do you do that? How do you do that when folk, at this point, they knew you were going through, said they're going to be there, they said they're going to loan you money, they said they're going to give you $100, they gave you a dime. They didn't show up at all. And look what Paul says. Paul says, I know they did me wrong, but don't lay it to their charge. Look what happened. I love this because Paul had an understanding. Here's the next one, verse 18. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work. I declare and decree right now over everyone under the sound of my voice, whatever evil work is trying to rise up against you, you got to know that God has already delivered you. I say God has already delivered you. I say God has already. He didn't just deliver Paul. He has already delivered you. And regardless of what's going on around you, God is a God. How many know God is delivers? How many know God saves? How many know God rescues? God is a God of deliverance. And I love it. He will deliver us from every evil work. What's that? So I know, right? Sometimes you feel like this, like the devil. Now, the devil really have a pitchfork, but we feel like this right here. We feel like the devil just has us down, got the pitchfork to our throat, about to take us out. But look what it says right here. God delivers from evil, yes, and the Lord will deliver me from every evil attack, and will bring me safely into his heavenly kingdom, and all glory be to him forever and ever. So I love this part. Read Genesis 50:20. Now this is when Joseph's brothers thought that Joseph was going to kill him. Read what it says right here. But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Another translation says to save many people. I'm telling you right now, there may be some evil works going on around you, but God's going to deliver. I say, not he's going to. He has already delivered you. I don't care what it looks like right now. Paul has promised that God shall, God will, God has delivered us out of every work right here. But watch this. I love this right here. Psalm 21:11. I love this. Read this together. For they intended evil against you. They devised a plot. They had it laid out. Keep on going. Which they are not able to perform. They had it all, the plans laid out. They're going to take credit for your work. They're going to make it look like you did it. All these other things, but they're not able to perform it because God is a God of deliverance. So what? Get this now. Read this with me. The devil had a plot, but God, oh, that's some shouting word right there. See, the devil had a plot to take you down. But God has a plan to take you up. Now, come on now. I said the devil has a plan to knock you down. But God has a plan to take you up. And even though the devil can plot all around you, God says, I love you too much. I already gave you my son. I gave you power and dominion to make sure my plan is going to come to pass every time. Can somebody give God a hand clap of praise for the plan he already has laid out? Yeah, so here's the point. Don't get all consumed with the plots of the devil. Recognize and trust the plan of the Lord. Amen. See what? So now we're going to talk in a minute about how Paul was able to do this. Now, so let's go back to this part again. Now, I want to go and focus on this part right here. Let's read this part right here. Read it. I just want you to read this part here. I love being able to touch the screen because then I can't do it. I want you to read right here. Just right here. All right. Okay. So read this. Preach the word. Well, in fact, just read right here. Be instant, in season, out of season. Read that again. Be instant, in season, out of season. One more time. Be instant, in season, out of season. That's our I right there on your outline notes. That's good. In season, instant, in season, out of season. Huh. So I want to, before we go back and really explore this, what does that mean? What do you think that means? Instant, in season, out of season. What do you think that means? All the time. All right. Instant all the time. What's instant mean? Right now. So instant. So I know we live in a world of everything instant. Instant grits. Instant curls. instant love, peoplemeet.com, oldpeoplemeet.com, all instant eye color change, instant hair, short or long, and all these instant things. But that's not what instant means from the Greek. Because you look at this all the time, okay, that's right, all the time. But the heart of this is, what is he saying? What is Paul saying in the midst of being hurt by Alexander? And back to the scripture right, he says already, he says all these things, and he's been encouraging. He said, and continue to be instant, in season and out of season. Instant, in season, out of season. So I want to deal first of all with instant, then in season, then out of season, to really make sure we're clear, because it has direct application for those of us who've experienced disappointment. Anybody ever been disappointed again?
Oh, yes.
This is the verse. And it's kind of tucked up in here, because quite frankly, I've focused in the past on the reproving, rebuking, long-suffering, and I read this, but I didn't have an understanding about this instant, in season, out of season. And that's at the heart of saying, how do we make it and make sure in the midst of disappointment we're still able to go? So here's instant. Here's what instant means. Instant comes from the Greek word aposteme, which means upon and to stand. Nothing about quick right there. It means to be, it's not quick, instant grip, instant love. Don't be talking about wait when somebody give you a rose. You already got the rose of Sharon in the middle of the valley. So that the instant means to upon, to stand upon, instant. Now watch what happens. So it means really to stand upon or to take a firm and hard stand. Every daddy in here knows, every mom in here knows, when you told your children they couldn't do something, they came back, please. No, take a stand. That's what that means, take a stand, firm. Stand upon. So we're going to stand upon the word and take a firm and hard stand. And what does it mean? Now, let's go back. So that means I'm going to stand on the word, take a hard and firm stand in season and out of season. All right, let's keep going. This is the other part. I love this part here. It also means to stay at one's assigned post. To stay at one's assigned post. What are we talking about right here? God has an assignment for every believer. And too many times we let problems run us away from our assignment. Microphone. Too many times we let, so God is He is the one who makes the assignments. We don't assign ourselves. God makes the assignments. And what this says, we're going to stay at our assigned post. It has the military context. You're going to stay on this post until somebody tells you to go. Until the leader tells you to go. Until the general tells you to go. You stay at that post. And so many times we have left jobs or houses or apartments or cars because we wanted to go and God didn't tell us to go. I just can't stand going there. I'm just going to quit. And then, but stay at your assigned post. God will give release. And until He gives release, we stay still. Yes. Amen. Amen. We stand still. Amen. What I'm saying is that if God has put you there, God is going to protect you there. If God has put you there, God's going to be there with you. If God has put you there, He's going to give you all the resources you need to make it there. If God put you there, doesn't mean every day is going to be Sunday, but it means right now, if God put me there, He's going to see me through. Because the one who began a good work is able to see it to the day of Jesus Christ. So God is not like people. God's not like here's your blessed sight. God is there. He put you there. You stay there until God says to go. And too many of us have left too soon. Yeah, in the natural, what happens? If you go back in here, and how many have ever had cake in your life? So now you can go through here all you want to, and you can pray in tongues over that. You put that batter in there and put in there 5 minutes. You can pray in tongues. You can cry. You can moan. You can do everything. That cake is not going to be ready in 5 minutes. But if it stays there for a while, it'll come out like it's supposed to. And too many times we keep pulling